So in this study, it showed that when your partner regularly expresses gratitude, making you feel appreciated, you're more likely to return appreciative, grateful feelings and stay committed to each other. One found that sharing gratitude with a partner makes you feel more responsible for his well-being and more satisfied with the relationship. This one was huge to me because how many relationships have failed? How many relationships are really struggling right now and could be healed if both parties choose to pursue gratitude? This is saying that when you show appreciation to your partner, when you show gratitude to the relationships that are around you, it heals your relationships. It causes them to be committed. It causes you to be satisfied. How many of us are unsatisfied in our relationships? I'm going to tell you why. We're unsatisfied in our relationships because what we do is we choose to focus on the things we don't like about the relationship. We meditate on the characters or the things that in those relationships we wish would change, and we don't spend enough time focusing on the things that are good. And here is showing, studies are shown that when we begin to do that, it strengthens the relationship. It helps the relationship to endure, to last. So I really do believe there's a saying of the 80-20 rule, right? That we focus 80% of our attention on 20% of the things that are not going right, instead of 80% of our attention on 80% of things that are. And it is really a part of our sin nature to really be prone to focus on negativity. Is a part of something we're just well practiced in it, right? And so it's something that you really have to work towards. You have to work towards seeing the good in your spouse when they may not be doing something that you like in that moment. You have to work towards seeing the bigger picture of what they give into your life on a day-to-day basis. And I know for a fact that when I feel appreciated, I'm apt to do more things that will reciprocate that response. So it's important for you to understand that in order for your relationships to be healed, you need to exercise more gratitude. There was a blog post that I read from Yale while I was looking up this information and studying this out. And I thought that what they stated in this blog post was really helpful as well in understanding gratitude. And it says the topic was, what are the benefits of gratitude? I'm going to read them to you really quickly. It says, more than any other personality trait, gratitude is strongly linked to mental health and life satisfaction. I'm going to stop there for 1 second, because that one thing, gratitude, if we can focus on that one thing, it is strongly linked to mental health and life satisfaction. How many of us are running around trying to find peace, trying to find gratification in our lives with all these other things and doing a bunch of things to try to get it, and all along, all we have to do is shift our perspective and focus on being grateful? To me, that is a game changer, because everything you've been running after trying to pursue happiness and satisfaction in your life is wrapped up into this one scripture: be thankful in all things. I'm going to continue. Grateful people experience more joy, love, and enthusiasm. They enjoy protection from destructive emotions like envy, greed, and bitterness. Gratitude also reduces lifetime risks of depression, anxiety, and substance abuse disorders. And it helps people entangled with those and other problems to heal and find closure. It can give you a deep and steadfast trust that goodness exists, even in the face of uncertainty or suffering. Not only is gratitude a warm and uplifting way to feel, it benefits the body as well. People who experience gratitude cope better with stress, recover more quickly from illness, and enjoy more robust physical health, including lower blood pressure and better immune function. Unlike other positive emotions like hope, happiness, gratitude is inherently relational. It reaches past the person experiencing it and into the social realm. It is gratitude in large measure that inspires people to acts of kindness, since it's natural to respond to gifts with heartfelt gifts of your own. And that strengthens your bond with other people. Grateful people are rated by others as more helpful, outgoing, optimistic, and trustworthy. That is so good to me. Again, gratefulness, gratitude, thanksgiving covers it all. It covers every aspect of our life. It covers our spiritual, our emotional, our mental, our physical, our relational, our financial, health, and well-being. When you just focus on having an attitude of gratitude. So this to me is just really a game changer because it helps to narrow down all the things that we're running around trying to do to get the satisfaction we want in life in any area of our life to this one thing. Be grateful. Be grateful for what your health is, even if it's not what you want it to be. Be grateful for who your spouse is, even if they're not what you want them to be right now. Be grateful for where you are, even if it's not where you want to be right now. Be grateful because in being grateful, it produces the things you desire. It is so important. And I think why it's so different, this attitude of gratitude over anything else that we do, is because to be grateful, it requires a mind and heart connection. See, it's not just about being positive, right? You know, we talk about this a lot, especially at Holy Nation, the power of positive thinking. But in order to be grateful, you can't just think. It's not just thinking positive thoughts. It's a feeling as well. It gets your heart involved in it as well. There's a connection here between the spirit and the soul. So that positive thinking that you have in your conscious mind, in order for you to be grateful, you got to get down into what you feel about people, what you feel about situations to be grateful. And so that's a connection now that you're making between your conscious and your subconscious, your spirit and your soul. And that is where the power is, because whenever there's agreement between the spirit and the soul, manifestation is inevitable, because that's how we've been created, to have that agreement, to have that oneness. So I can think positive and not be emotionally connected to what I'm thinking, right? But to be grateful, I have to emotionally connect. I have to put my heart into it. And that is where the manifestation, the physical manifestation takes place, is because I am feeling it at a heart level. I'm putting my heart into what I'm thinking at that point. And that is really where the greatness, the power is released. And that is why God constantly asks us to do that. Let's look at one other scripture before we close out. And that's in Psalms 50 and 23. I'm going to read it in the Amplified again. And it reads, "He who offers a sacrifice of praise and thanksgiving honors me. And to him who orders his way rightly, who follows the way that I show him, I shall show the salvation of God." This is so good, because here again, it's letting us know that to walk in thanksgiving It's ordering our steps rightly. And because of that, God shows us his salvation. It's a law. When we walk in thanksgiving, when we do it as God is instructing us to be grateful, we manifest it. We manifest the salvation of God. Simple as that. But I want to point out this one thing. He who offers the sacrifice of thanksgiving. It is a sacrifice. To be grateful in all things at all times requires your sacrifice, because it's not at all times are you going to feel like taking your attention off of all the negative things that might be coming at you to begin to think about how good God is, what he has done, the time and time again that he has brought you out of situations before, and that he's faithful and he will continue to do it. You have to sacrifice your negative feelings and emotions in that moment to do that. But it's so worth it. It's so worth it. A lot of our negative responses to the situations that we're going through is really just a habit. It's a part of your paradigm programming, and it just needs to be broken. You need to choose a different way of thinking and seeing your circumstances, because when you do, you will change them. So sacrifice what you feel. Sacrifice even your desire to be right about the wrong that has been done to you. And make a decision that I'm going to be grateful. And I'm going to find things to be grateful for, because there's way more than what we're focusing on right now. And one of the things that has been, as I was doing this research, that a lot of people do, and I didn't realize that I actually was doing it too in my journal time, is they will journal down. They would create a journal of gratitude, a gratitude journal. And basically daily write down minimum of 5 things that they were grateful for, whether that was when they woke up, whether that's before you go to bed. But they started to create a gratitude journal. And what happened is, story after story, people were experiencing healing in their physical body from doing that. And so I would encourage you as well, especially if you're going through a difficult time and situation right now, take that opportunity to begin to focus on being grateful. Write down at least 5 things. I would be surprised if you stop at 5. Because what I find is when you begin to do it, it just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming, because you're now connected with what is true. See, to be grateful, you have to shift your perspective from what you're feeling negatively, which is usually tied to a lie, and you have to shift now to what is true. What is true is that God has been good to you, right? And so you have to begin to, when you do that, shift your perspective to what is good and what you're grateful for. You now produce the chemical in your body that aligns with healing and health. And so I would encourage you, whatever the area is in your life, pick just 5 things. Start with 5. Write them down every single day. And each day, continue to be grateful, continue to be thankful, continue to be grateful, continue to be thankful. And I guarantee you that list will grow. I guarantee you that situation and circumstances will pan out to be good and to add to your gratefulness list. So I pray that this has encouraged you to live a life of gratitude, to make it a practice in your life, a spiritual practice in your life, so that you can be whole, spirit, soul, and body.
Welcome to Holy Health and Fitness, where we help you to live whole, spirit, soul, and body.
We are the leading online health, fitness, and faith community that provides 3-dimensional spirit, soul, and body information, support, and accountability.
Here you will have full access to daily meditations, transformational messages, mind-renewing tools and exercises, meal and workout plans, community encouragement and support, and a whole lot more.
Unlike other faith or fitness communities, we focus on the well-being of the whole person.
Our goal is to live whole
and to help you live whole.